must admit that I learned a lot, and I enjoyed every bit of this conference because, frankly, I didn't know that our community is so rich, and I'm sure that by the end of this year, LifeWatch will look, like another type of infrastructure. If you allow me the word of another league, that's exactly what I would like to express, how I would like to express myself. And I think that the most important issue here is the collaboration, the synergies with our clients, but also with our stakeholders. And we have already in this room a lot of them. And I'm glad that we made this event in Seville, and all the people had the opportunity to travel and collaborate with us. Before I continue with this closing session, I would like the members of the Executive Board to join me in this table. We are going to continue this session by, first of all, by the message. Luca, you too. You're a member if you remember. We've been discussing during the first day on the panel, on the discussion panel. There was a very rich, actually, discussion, if I remember well. There were people from radically different disciplines, and that's amazing. So they produced, quite a lot of complex, let's say, discussion. But we had our colleagues, and that's Anna and Christina, and they were working on those messages, and we tried, to make some kind of a text which is simple, concise, informative, and therefore, if you agree with that, then you may give us, the go-ahead message, and we can publicize it on our website as one of the messages that are coming out of this event, and that's fantastic. By the way, anytime that our distinguished members of the University of Seville are here, we're very happy, to welcome them on stage.
10 minutes.
Yeah, we're fine with 10 minutes. So the message out of the round table is that that there are key scientific priorities which are emerging from the discussion on how to address current threats and challenges to biodiversity and ecosystem conservation, and which includes actions such as to establish a closer, I would say more mechanistic, links between global change of drivers, for example, the climate change, the ocean acidification, the emerging pollutants, etc., and changes in biodiversity. Second, to focus on less known ecosystems and taxa. I'm not talking about genes because most of them are on the dark side of biodiversity material, such as soil and the oceanic microbiome. And three, take into account the high complexity of the ecosystems. That's something that hinders quite a lot of in our attempt to simplify the picture, to try to convey a very simple message like these are how many tons of COU. It doesn't work with biodiversity like that. The second section deals with the improvement of biodiversity monitoring and analysis, which can be facilitated by new technologies, for example, the eDNA, the artificial intelligence, the digital twins, and many others. We had, I repeat, a very rich discussion on this. And all this is needed to produce sound, data-based knowledge that allow us to provide better solutions demanded by the society, because the society is facing great challenges, whose the consequences can be felt almost every month now. And finally, common biodiversity metrics are needed to create standards for assessing biodiversity and ecosystem functioning and services, for example, BEeS, and other metrics that BEeS is including in the reports, and that in addition they're needed to raise citizens' awareness as a single metrics that can be easily understood by the society at large. As I said before, how many tons or metric tons of CO2, etc., etc. So with this, I'd like to ask first of all Peter and then Alberto if they have anything to add, although they have seen this text, and then probably we can to enlarge. Theo, can we enlarge a little bit, please, because the people can't see very well, and I can't see very well as well, and I'm sorry for this. Peter.
I think this is a good overview, and I also think that we should acknowledge Anna and Mariana before drawing this first version. What struck me is that we are all seeing the wonderful opportunities that we have for the future. New technologies, new things that can be developed, but also the urgency that they need to be developed in order to make a change. This was a wonderful meeting with many good interventions, so thank you all for that. There is also one thing missing, and that is, I think, we are primarily a scientific infrastructure. So the main goal is to start to know the systems better. I think there could be more emphasis on that aspect in future meetings. So we will take care of that we try to make that a better mix. But that doesn't say that these contributions were not useful at all. So I think that this has been wonderful. I've learned a lot. So thank you all for being here from my side as well.
Alberto.
I have nothing to add to the resolution, even because unfortunately I was not there, so I apologize for that. I was in another meeting in Italy for basically taking what was said by Christos, entering a bit more in the part of science, and then surely what we are going to do, or we are doing actually, because we are building frontier science with the frontier technology, so it's absolutely something new that we are putting in the landscape of the research infrastructure in Europe, and these are huge challenges. But what is fantastic being in this meeting and going from the previous meeting that we had and so on, is see how actually the LifeWatch community is growing, and the outcome of the LifeWatch community is growing, and also how much the collaboration that we have inside our community is growing. That was really a fantastic opportunity we had here in Seville. And I also thank you so much, all of you that participated, and all those that are already left. I'm happy to say that the people that were coming from the round table will also send us messages, so giving a positive feedback and thanking us for this opportunity, which is also a fantastic thing. So that is absolutely a pleasure for me to be here, and then I also join the other colleague and thank you so much for what you are doing and what you did and what we will do particularly in the future.
Thank you, Alberto. Luca, you're both an economist and an environmental scientist as well. What an honor!
Correct.
To give us just a little comment.
Yeah, no, I was extremely excited as well to see all the applications that this community is presenting using the framework offered by LifeWatch. Of course, the latest topic on agroecology and ecosystem services resonate most with me as well, with my dual background, and also I really agree that the reliability of environmental data now is really crucial, as we can see also in the news lately. You can see probably that there is a sector that is going through an identity crisis. It's the carbon credit market, and obviously this is a big opportunity to create based on this kind of mistake that were created already 20 years ago probably, when a huge financial sector was based on thin air, if you like, and now we're realizing where the shortcomings are. And LifeWatch is creating the framework that can help really fill those gaps. I think the opportunity is quite huge for the community here to participate in this global framework and to create something that is very meaningful, not just for the scientific community, for the public, for the private sector as well, academics as well, and I'm very excited to be part of it. I'm very proud to see this coming together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Luca. Any quick comment from the audience before we announce to our friend and Vice Rector of the university what has been discussed here? Any quick comments? I repeat, we are going to leave this text open, so we will communicate it by email, and therefore you can come back with comments. Please make it short. Now I see that I missed, the last paragraph because the text was, pretty small. But anyway, it's there. Very short interventions. If you think that there is something which is missed by this text, and by the end of the week, if we don't have any comments, then we will publicize it as one of the main outcomes from this conference. And then I'm going directly to a message for our Vice Rector here, and this is that today the Executive Board had a meeting, and we thought that probably Seville is the best place to make it a permanent venue for this kind of meetings from now on, especially back with the Biodiversity Day every year. But for the next year, because it is a special year, we are thinking about developing synergies with our national nodes in the 8 countries, so we can help them out to develop this kind of events within the country, and then to have this event in Seville as a major integration event of all of those. But we need to do that in combination with in synergy with the Alliance on Biodiversity, because next year is the year where in the General Assembly of the United Nations it will be discussed the new Science for the Future text, and therefore LifeWatch, along with the other research infrastructures and also with the global aggregators, should deliver a message there. And this needs to be done in collaboration with the Biodiversity Alliance. I commit myself definitely that I'm starting work from tomorrow, if you agree with that. And then later on, we will present those messages to the community in New York in September 2024. And by this, I hope that you like this message. I give you the floor, Mrs. Vice Rector.
Thank you very much. Distinguished member of the table, I had the opportunity to meet with you last Monday night. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. University of Seville is really proud to be hosting this LifeWatch family, which is meeting again for the first time in 4 years. Hosted by the University of Seville, we had the opportunity to meet 150 participants from LifeWatch 8, its national nodes, and the broader biodiversity and ecosystem research community to present their work in person. We enjoyed a rich program with 65 presentations from 13 different countries. During those 3 days, all of you have presented the advanced transdisciplinary and challenging frontiers on the field of research, from ecosystem monitoring in mountain areas, such as in the Sierra Nevada, high mountain protected area case study, to DNA-based biodiversity monitoring and environmental information to study the communities of freshwater ecosystem in Western Andalusia. The most advanced science tools were presented, ranging from those designed to manage and control alien species or to assess ecological health and status of ecosystem, the e-service and virtual research environment, enabling a deeper understanding of biodiversity and ecosystem response to climate change. Through this lens, you analyze a variety of topics of the utmost importance for the current research landscape, as well as for decision makers and society as a whole, because of the massive socioeconomic impact those topics has been in our daily lives. You started your section on International Day on Biological Diversity and under the overall theme of threats and challenges to biodiversity and ecosystem conservation from an science perspective. The conference program was divided into seven session topics across the 3 days, each one making reference to the infrastructure and online tools and services. 14 European countries participate in this initiative. In the case of Spain, regional governments contribute with almost 50% of the national contribution. In Andalusia, this initiative is using concepts in the field of big data, blockchain, remote sensing, deep learning, and artificial intelligence applied to projects like Alborán, Indalo, Big2, Labs, Smart Food, Smart Eco Mountain, and Sunghal. I finish. The conference is over. I hope you have the opportunity to enjoy with Seville hospitality, and please remember that University of Seville is your house.
Mr. Vice Rector, I couldn't hope for more warm and inviting message from your side. Thank you so much. It was a real honor to be hosted by the University of Seville, and I promise that from now on we're going to have more frequent, let's say, contacts. Thank you. That's the final part of this closing session. I'd like, from the bottom of my heart, to thank you all for coming here, for taking this trip, this journey. I hope that you enjoyed it on many fronts, let's say, not only on the science and the technology that was presented, but also the hospitality of the space here. I mean, look at this venue. I mean, that's the first time I'm in a venue like this. It's grand, it's amazing, it's inviting, and it's inspiring. And this inspiration is contagious to all of us. My eyes are led, to Javier Lopez and many other colleagues, Juan Luis Pavon, for example, that they took care of the ritual over those days. I'd like, to address a special thank you. But before that, can I ask from the people who have been involved actively in the preparation and in the running of this event to join us on the scenes? All of you, please. And we would like, to applaud your effort, because that was amazing. It was an amazing preparation. It was an amazing running of this conference. Please come all on the scene, on the stage. Sarah, don't be shy, please. All of you, please. Some people are very shy. You need to come on the stage. Okay? And one photo, Jose Luis. Juan Luis. Rocío. Javier, please. All of you. And the final.
Ilaria, guarda, c'è una volontà.
Yeah. We wanted a special applause, that's all. And the final applause is for all of you again, and we give you the promise that next year we're going to meet again with a much higher expectation and probably a more, strong message that will go all the way to the United Nations. Thank you all.